See, it's big coming up, and they talk about it all the time. The I am is so powerful. Well, yes. Welcome to the ARiEs sensation. Welcome to the creator of creation, or whatever you want to talk about it, like how. And so there is where I don't have much of a conversation for people who are like, and now we're going to get into creating our own reality. It's like, it's already here. Did you miss something? I am, and that's it. Now what? What is the quality of something? Why don't we, instead of I am, like, my point is very, very Aries. Pluto, Mars, Scorpio, kind of to the point. I'm trying to, I'm not saying that I am not, incapable, incapable of becoming so, toxic to myself that I'm not doing very well for myself. It's been hard with Mars behind the sun. I, I'm doing the best I can with like trying to do alchemy on every bad choice I've made, right? So it's a time of like having to deal with, right, our own selves really, but who's not doing that already? Of course, and there's where I'm back again with the, hey man, if we consider the Venus in Virgo here that already criticizes herself to the bone. I mean, I'm analyzing it, and I'm also capable of analyzing and everything and picking it apart, and it's not good, but, well, we're all different. We're all very complex beings, and that's why astrology is here to help us see that. It kind of points at it, and it gives us, really, it opens our minds up to the possibility, and then we're not so like, shutting out of people, but more opening up to, this is just a character, and it's interesting. It's one of the interesting things to learn astrology and see how that it points at everything about a person. A lot of things, you know, really, as good as I know astrology in a certain way, it's not an amusement park ride. It's really very personal, right? You're looking at the people's underwear drawers, so to speak, and I do have a kind of etiquette about it. I'm like, are you sure you want me to look at your astrological chart? I mean, I want to do your astrological chart. Will you allow me? Are you sure? Because I will be able to see a lot of things, and I kind of go into the stoic mode because it's like stuff that a lot of people that are struggling with things don't want you to see, and yeah, unless really, I've always had this saying, and it's the truth. If you're completely expanded and conscious, your astrology does not affect you. It doesn't really have an effect, but what I mean is, it doesn't pertain to you really. We can say, yeah, that's interesting, and there's so many possibilities, blah blah blah, whatever. But then again, see, if you're not um super conscious and expanded in there, just all knowing in meditation and stuff, then indeed astrology won't matter to you either. See, it's right in the middle zone where you're curious about life, you're paying attention to all kinds of things, and it's like there's a esoteric, is that the right word? What does that mean? Kind of, a singled out kind of its own language or genre of, yes, language, maybe, yeah, because the degrees and the zodiac signs themselves, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, it's esoteric in nature. It's like, well, that's kind of isolating. But no, there's that will begin to give you a way of communicating, or seeing in to astrology you could not know astrology unless you were curious about life already. Like you were wondering, why am I the way I am? I mean, why do I like animals and all this stuff? And I do all these things. Well, you have Venus in Virgo and a Neptune aspect that's kind of animal-oriented artistry. And I'm a very right-brained person, and I don't know. I mean, there's probably things that we are not our fullest potential, but the potential is there. That's what it really is. And um, energy. It's about energy too. To look at it. Um, just trying to. There's a lot of energy in the air right now with Mars and Scorpio, and I'm just putting these videos all over November, just because, well, that's all it is energy, and I'm going through. I'm 49 years old, nearly going on 50, and as far as the I am thing, let's get back to that. I don't want to do what I shouldn't do. Like with words like programming, like, well, it's just time to die because I'm getting near 50. No, if I'm anything like my grandma, she's I know, and all the women that I've really worked for and gotten close to, would say, that life starts at 50. I'm kind of stuttering and biting my tongue because my mom, I mean, it's just when you have a terminal illness, it kind of shortens your life up a little bit there. Try 62, bye. And that's happening more and more, right? Who doesn't know somebody who has lost somebody at an early age to cancer or some illness that, in fact, we know now they're being caused, and there isn't a single illness that isn't man-made. I hate to say that, but it's like, we're putting it on you, men. I wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it at all. Because you're not alert, and you need to be on a constant reminder that you need to find your leader. You have to know what your leader is. The problem of the leader. What is it? Because women don't know who their leader is. They would have their inner core being who acknowledges, well, we need safety, we need this and that. It's for raising kids, right? It's for actually creating life, safety, and the environment of safety. Not, I didn't just say in bubble wrap, but enough of a decent space. Really, it's just freedom for a life to grow, right? And gosh, where am I going with this? These things with the Mars, Pluto, see, Mars rules men, and when it's opposing the Uranus in Taurus, it tells me that, the feminine is really kind of vibrating anyway with the Uranus planet. It's being jostled, in other words. It's change. It's actually kind of it's the itch too. It's like an itch going, excuse me, but it's really time to change, something like. But to me, it's more like she's just waking up, right? The Earth and the feminine principle and Venus, and with Mars opposing that, it's the Scorpio vibe, which Scorpio used to rule. I mean, Mars used to rule Scorpio until they found Pluto. So it's the Mars and Venus tug is what I'm trying to express. And it's like, here it is, and who talks about it? Well, I'm being exposed many things. Just being alone enough to contemplate it just comes in. It's like, oh God, now it's easier. Why is it all of a sudden it's easier to just let's talk about what might be happening? Just way more so now than just 3 months ago. Well, we're going to keep expanding, and it's going to be like an obvious thing to the point of, well, I see it as, well, I keep saying, I don't want anything to do with this subject matter about men and women. Never been impressed, really. I'm up to just becoming simple, pure awareness and questioning a little bit. What are we going through here? What is this, really? What are we going through? Like I said, on here, I'm 49, nearing 50, and I'm going through bodily changes, and I'm not about to get on the same track that a lot of people do. It's interesting. I haven't done that all my life, and I won't be doing it now. As far as let's say we go to the doctor for experiencing premenopausal conditions or something, and it's like, no, I would listen to my body and figure out, well, why is it happening the way it is? You know, what really is going on, right? I mean, you don't want to just even say it's menopause. Maybe it's asphalt being spilled over there, and I'm not handling it. Maybe I'm even being pummeled by narcissists, and I've been under a lot of stress, but maybe it is menopause, though. I mean, though I've had just evidence of it going on, kind of a personal issue, but it's something that's like, now what? Well, you're going to get old and die. Really? Really? Oh, wow. I hope, I hope I do it early enough to where it's like I'm not too ugly. I want to leave an amazing corpse behind, apparently. Doesn't even matter if I get to 92. Great. I'm just kidding. God, how vain. At 11 right there. Vain. Whew! I'll end it at 11:22, but hey, here we go. Here we go. And are we going to waste our lives with such things that's going on? See, this is where I am so not interested. I want my life to change completely. What I mean is, I'm not saying I want to run away from the responsibilities that I can't. No, it's time for me to eject. Like, this is a fucking landing pad, and get the hell out of Dodge. Because now I know that most of the global population has gone completely insane. But I happen to think that something has already said, hey, there's people that are kind of doing what you're imagining could happen. All you need is a little bit of money. I mean, that's plenty of money that you have. Really, you don't need it. You know that you don't need it. It's never done anything for you. You just want a healthy place to live. And give me a decent something to do every day that contributes to the whole, that is appreciated. Right now, it's an unhealthy ecology. I feel like I just have to, whatever it is that I'm about, like highly productive, it's a waste, especially if it's something. Like, I'm telling you, I don't want to know what people think after a while if I'm serving like 15 pies. Like, I thought, okay, so I can make pies. I make pies well. I don't know, babes. I'm just trying to think of what should I make for money? And maybe that is so not what I'm supposed to be doing at this point, babes. And there's a lot of thanks for listening to this, because this is actually the concern with the new moon. It's in Scorpio, which new moon, the moon in Scorpio is at fall. It's a very emotionally diarrhea kind of time, and then there's going to be it's almost like the Uranus is going to be stabilizing it because there's going to be it's a rough opposition, that new moon, and that's what's going to kind of frame the next whole month, which is a cycle of, it should be 28 days, I think, which means there should be 13 months, but we'll talk about that later, just to follow the moon cycles correctly. But I'm happy about the process. You have to be really careful of the medical system, who will increasingly fuck with you, and particularly dentists. I'm suffering from poor dental work, kind of like, what a terrible fucking subject matter. Am I going to put this up? No. Let's see, let me put this up when Sun is squaring my Venus, around about December or something. What was the original cause of the video? Whew. I need to trust more, though, that I'm on a pretty good rhythm. This is just spewing. I would say it's because I'm Mars ruled, and then we have it in Scorpio. So far, we talked about vibrating Venus, the vibrating feminine, and the spewing Mars in Scorpio. I'm done with this conversation.